Hello and welcome back to this video. So you may have seen the title that I'm trying Kenji López-Alt's watermelon salad today. It's a watermelon and arugula salad with some feta on top and just a couple of little extra things, added in here and there. So I just showed you the feta cheese. I'm using that pepper grinder right there, which kind of sucks. It takes forever to use. There's some kosher salt. Got watermelon. We're going to be using a microplane today for some lemon zest. I have a lemon right there, and I'm just using my trusty chef's knife, and you can see that the arugula is in the corner there. So yeah, I was kind of inspired to try this because I saw it on Kenji's channel the other day, and it looked very interesting, and I figured why not try something interesting and possibly healthy. So I just rolled the lemon just to make sure that it's a little bit more squeezable, so when I do go ahead and try and get the lemon juice out of there, it should come out quite easily. So here is part of the video where I'm kind of just showing you the watermelon itself, and we're gonna try and cut it. Now, cutting a watermelon can be dangerous, so what I'm gonna do is just start in the middle, just press down and slowly take my time and going down the watermelon. So I'm going down to the bottom half right there. You can see I go all the way down, and then what you can see I'm gonna do is just finish the other cut from the other side with the rest of my blade. And there we go. We're going to set that watermelon there. And now comes the fun part of the video where you see me struggle to flip this watermelon on its side. I should have dropped my knife here and then flipped it, but I eventually got it to the right place. So now I'm just going to cut this in half and just also taking my time here. This watermelon is quite hard to cut. It's not an easy thing to do, so that is why I'm cutting it in the shape that it is right there. So now that I have a nice flat side here, I'm gonna keep it flat and kind of carve away the excess pith of the watermelon. Now, you do see a lot of red, so I'm not doing a perfect job here, and I'm probably taking off more than I should, but this is a nice way to go about cutting a watermelon. You can just start by cutting around the sides and getting that off, and you're as safe as you can be because you're not having your hands anywhere near, a like wobbling watermelon, and you can just take your time and to get the cut you want. So now you see that I've gotten all that side down, so I can flip it over to the other side. That's why we cut it into that fourth shape right there. And now we're just going to get off all of that white pith that I can. So I'm going to try and get through that as fast as possible here. Although I'm quite slow. My knife skills are nowhere near as good as Kenji's or any pro chef, I should say. Even amateur chefs, I'd say I'm quite slow. But slow is the name of the game. So now what I'm going to do is just throw these in the trash right there. Ignore that almost escaping Dr. Pepper bottle. And yeah, I do need to take that out, but it's whatever. So now we begin the process of cutting up this watermelon. So I'm just taking a look at it, seeing if there's any seeds. I do find one seed that I'm trying to get rid of there, but I end up giving up because it's too much work. So I'm going to try and cut this up into not large chunks, but relatively bite-sized pieces. So I'm cutting it in half, then in half again. And you notice I didn't use my hands there because I didn't feel the need to. Sometimes you can cut things if it has a flat bottom on it without using your hands for stability. But you don't need to be a pro chef. And sometimes, you can see me just do things like that. So I have cut that into cubes now, and then I'm going to take that little edge piece and keep it off there and just eat it. That way it's there's no ugly pieces in that salad. Sometimes the chef has to eat too. So now that we've got that stacked over there, it's time to get into the meat of this. Now this is the big part. So this one I'm cutting much more liberally and actually more finely. And you notice that I place my knife sometimes and don't cut. That's because I want to make sure I get the right size on it and make sure that the profile is perfect. So now we got two other pieces. I decided not to eat these and just chop them up, and there we go. So what would have been a good idea, instead of just using my hands here, is to get a bench scraper and to use that and pile all of it and slide it up onto a bench scraper and then throw it into the bowl. But since I'm eating this and I'm not preparing it for anyone else, I don't care that my hands are touching all over this. I'm just going to put this into the bowl nice and slow, and it'll eventually get there. And yeah, so this is pretty much the main part of the salad. It's a arugula based salad, so arugula is supposed to be nice and peppery, the watermelon's supposed to be nice and sweet, and that's the cool contrast here. You kind of get a nice combination of both. So I'm just grabbing myself a paper towel, just gonna make a mess of things. Now you notice how I did not completely go and wipe close to that knife. I was making sure that I wasn't going to touch my hand there. It did look like I was haphazardly wiping my hand everywhere, but I assure you, I watched out for that knife, and I decided to move it out of the way. So now, as you can see here, I'm just kind of confused on what to do next. We will take this bowl over here and move it front and center, and we're going to move on with the next step. I'm gonna get this cutting board out of the way, and well, will you look at that? That looks quite delicious. So what we're gonna do is just kind of roll this lemon on its side, just to juicing it up on the inside, and then we're gonna take our microplane here and try and get the zest off of a lemon. Now this may not be the best way to do it, but you know, you can just do one quick swipe with the lemon. You don't have to go back and forth. You can if you want, but sometimes that may leave more white pith in your end product. But I'm just doing a light graze of it and just checking it every time just to make sure I didn't take too much off. And now you can see that I am haphazardly trying to get all of that lemon zest out of the bottom of the microplane there. And now I'm just gonna set my lemon on the side here and cut it down the middle, and I'm going to dangerously use my knife to try and just pop those little seeds out before I go ahead and give that a fat squeeze all over this watermelon salad right here. You see I'm trying to catch the seed there, but it did drop, so I have to painstakingly get it out of the bowl, you know, like a champ. I expertly go in and dive my hand in there and fish it out like a pro. Yeah, but this isn't Bass Pro Fishing 2019. This is cooking right now. So what we're gonna do is keep trying to get as much lemon juice out of this lemon as possible. And as I stumble over my words, I kind of rethink my entire career choice of becoming a professional YouTuber and a cooking channel. Alright, so that's one lemon. My hands smell amazing, and I'm just going to grab that towel right there just to get the most of it off. So, oh, don't pay attention to that trash bag right there. It needs to be emptied. But you didn't hear that from me. So, what we're going to do here is admire my work so far and think carefully about what my next step is going to be. As I almost drop my microplane onto the floor, I just grab a pinch of salt, and I'm just going to lightly salt everything. Salt and pepper should add a nice flavor to this. Now, the arugula is already quite peppery, but this should also be pretty good. And it should add to the more complex flavors of this dish. It is just really a simple salad, so whatever you add to it does enhance everything quite a bit. But everything is pretty straightforward in the sense of how you prepare things, and there really isn't too much of a wrong way to do it. So what I'm going to do now is take the arugula and the watermelon and kind of just slosh it around to get everything well incorporated with that salt and pepper and make sure that it's spread around evenly. And it'll also coat the arugula and the watermelon juices that have been seeping out since they've been sitting in the bowl. So after I do that, I realize that after moving all that around, all of my arugula is sitting on top. So what am I going to do? I'm going to almost lose my phone here trying to get a plate to put this masterpiece on and struggle for a bit here. But it's okay. I think I can come in for the win. Oh, no, I dropped everything. Everything's dying. Oh, no. Don't worry. That sink is clean. I just cleaned it, even though it looks kind of dirty. Those marks are from just pots hitting and scraping it. There is a cool way to get rid of those from a porcelain sink, but that might be another video. Anyway, so what we're doing here is grabbing our plate, getting ready, and making sure that we have nothing in our shot. So as I toss the salad, all the arugula came up on top, so that allows me to easily grab the arugula and put it at the bottom of the plate where you kind of want it to be. You do want some watermelon down there, but mainly you want the watermelon to be on top with a mix of arugula, so that way when you are plating it, it looks extremely delicious. Seeing all of that watermelon on top, you don't even know that there's any veggies underneath. You're going to think to yourself, wow, this is a awesome dish, just watermelon, but oops, there's arugula back there. So, yeah. Now I'm just also admiring how good this plate looks, and I can't wait to dig into it. But what am I looking at over here? Honestly, I forget. I'm probably looking for another spice right now. I'm looking at the spice rack. Didn't find anything. Just wondering if I forgot any steps here. And then I remember olive oil. That's what it was. So we're going to sprinkle some olive oil on here and then probably apply some feta cheese. Oh no, olive oil last. So take that feta cheese and just open it. This is a fresh pack. Actually, since recording this, I still have some in the fridge that I have to use. Okay, so what we're doing is just breaking it up so it's just in more manageable pieces. You don't want to like have a super bite of feta cheese unless that's your thing. It's a very funky cheese, I would say. So it will contrast nicely with the nice bright and sweet flavors that is going on with the watermelon and the nice bitter and peppery taste of the arugula. But yeah, you can see that I just have some issues trying to get this down on the plate, and but it doesn't really matter if you're thinking that this is gonna end up like going bad. It's not. You can drop this everywhere and it'll still look good. All of these, if I were to speed this up, it would look like a well prepared, perfectly executed dish. That's just how the cookie crumbles here. So with that almost done, I think we can just sit here and admire my work. And I guess I'll tell you how it tasted after putting this olive oil on. I did try it. This was the first time in my life I've actually tried a salad like this. So I was kind of going out of my comfort zone. It does have an acquired taste, but it's not bad. It's definitely a good salad. It will kind of challenge your thinking on what is, like what is food. And I think this was an overall great experiment, and I'd definitely try it again. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.